Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, Israr. Good evening, Mohit. So I guess I'm properly audible and visible to all of you. Yes. Okay. Good evening. So tell me, like from the last 2 days, we have started discussing the answer writing part. So have you started writing the answers or not? Have you started writing the answers? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So from the last 2 days, we have started our answer writing via the current affairs itself. Good evening. Yes. Yes. So last day I have given you this one task. Last day I have given you this one task. We will come back to that. The topics which we are going to discuss in today's session, there are a few topics which we have to discuss. The entire newspaper is flooded with the news related to strikes on Pakistan. And since this is an ongoing development, so there is no need to update that, or there is no need to make any notes out of that as of now. Okay, once the things are clear, once the things are settled, then we will talk about this separately, that what we have achieved here, what were the things which were done under this Operation Sindoor or other things. Once that is over, since this is ongoing development, so let it go with the flow, and once the things are clear, then we will discuss what can be relevant for the exam purpose. Okay, maybe there is no Pakistan after that. Okay, that we won't have to discuss separately about Pakistan issue, or maybe things will change enormously. Okay, so there can be multiple number of things. Okay, that's why let's not discuss about that air strikes or other things as of now. We will discuss it once each and everything settles down. Okay, so the topics which we are going to discuss today, one is of course cloud seeding. Okay, this is one of the topic which was there in the news, cloud seeding. So we are going to discuss that today. The second thing is empowering people through a space. Okay, so so what we will see, that the second part which we are going to talk about is empowering people through a space. That is third part. Second part. Third is Starlink project. Now this is one of the most important development, that in middle of all these things, Starlink has got the approval to operate in India. So now we see that Starlink has been given approval to operate in India. That is one of the biggest development. Okay, if this news and everything was not going on about India-Pakistan war right now, so we may have been seeing more of this thing also, that Starlink has got the approval. And at the same time, there is this one update with respect to Security Council also. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, now before we discuss this all these things, let us discuss this one question. Discuss the role of civil services in nation building. What are the challenges with respect to civil services in India? So this is the question. So tell me what points you have written with respect to the one. Discuss the role of civil services in nation building. What are the challenges with respect to civil services in India? So tell me what you have written about it. Leader pressure, okay. There is one thing, leader pressure. Anything else? One is of course leader pressure means political pressure. Okay. First, of course, like what we have to talk is the role of civil services. If we talk about the introduction here, again in 25 words, you will mention about the civil services in India, that how civil services has been called as the steel frame of Indian Constitution. They have been referred to as steel frame of Indian Constitution and everything. So this is something which you have to mention in the first part. Okay. Second part is you have to mention about the role. Discuss the roles of civil services in nation building, that how they are helping in nation building. So last day we have discussed like the entire thing about this, that how they help in developing the policy, execution of the policies. Okay. At the same time, they help in transition, they help in maintaining neutrality. So we have discussed all these angles in the last session, that what is the role of them. Then at the same time, we have also seen that what are the challenges with respect to them, and then we have seen the reforms also. So tell me honestly, how many of you have written this answer? Tell me about this honestly, how many of you have written this answer? Discuss the role of civil services in India. At the same time, what are the challenges with respect to civil services? What reforms are needed? So how many of you have actually written this answer? Crisis handle, public service delivery, advising the government, maintaining stability. Fine. And apart from that, yes, Sitesh is also saying providing public services, socio-economic development, implementing policies, acting as political bridge between people and government. Fine, good. See, I am giving you this question, so you have to write, you have to tell me how many of you have written. Then only I will continue to tell you about that, how we can approach this. Okay. Here you have to keep this one thing in mind. Since it is asking only that what are the challenges, now what you will have to do is, as you are mentioning challenges, you will mention the reforms also, and then you have to give the conclusion. So there is going to be 4 different angles of this. Now suppose that if you are using around, let us say 25 words here, and let us say 40 words here, 40 words here. So you have already got around like and 25 words here. So for the reforms, what you can do is you can make a flow chart. You can make a flow chart. You can write this in just the keywords. You can just mention the keywords, or means alternatively, either in the challenges or reforms, you can mention the keyword. But since challenges has been directly asked in the question, you can go for mentioning about it properly. And then the second part is you can go for mentioning it in form of the flow charts. So there you will be covering each and every part of the question. You will be giving this part of the question of role also, challenges also, and even at the same time, you would be able to mention about the reforms also which are needed here. So I hope that is clear what you have to mention in the answer. Okay. Now, so this is the question which was for you. Now we have certain simple questions from the topics which we have discussed last day. The first one is, which of the following are key dimensions of Human Development Index? Health, education, and GDP. Health, education, and GDP. Which of them are part of Human Development Index? Which of them are part of Human Development Index? So I think all of you can easily answer this question. If we are talking about the Human Development Index, so you know that, yes, I think everyone is going for the same answer. That is correct also. When we talk about the Human Development Index, we have 3 key indicators. One is of course health data, then education, and then this standard of living. So here it is not GDP, it is the standard of living. So 1 and 2 is correct. Now, how many of the following affects India's rank in UNDP Human Development Index? How many of them are affecting? How many of the following affects India's rank in UNDP Human Development Index? MG Narega, National Education Policy, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, or Right to Education Act? Suraj, we are going to have the sessions of those questions. Like we have completed the portions, but I told you that we will have some questions practice also. So from Tuesday, from this Tuesday which is coming on, so from this Tuesday we will have around 7-8 sessions. Okay, just focusing on this revision part. So that time and everything will be announced in due time. Okay. So here I think everyone is giving the correct answer, D option. Now, see this one question. It is a question from a topic which we have discussed in the previous week about gene editing and everything. So here we have this one question. Consider the following statement. Genes can be transferred from a bacteria to both plants and animals. Gene editing can make a plant drought resistant. Gene editing can enhance the productivity of a crop. It can make a human immune from all diseases. How many of the statements given above are correct? Last week we have discussed about the gene edited rice. Not last week, this week itself we have discussed this gene edited rice or genetically edited rice in India. So how many of them are correct? B option, C option. Okay, so I think most of the people have gone for option number C. A few answer is B. See, first, gene can be transferred from a bacteria to both plants and animal. That is correct. Gene editing can make a plant drought resistant. That is also correct. It can enhance the productivity. That is also correct. But gene editing can make a human immune from all diseases. That is incorrect. So this is incorrect. Rest all three are correct. So answer here is going to be option number C. Okay. So that is our first part. A few questions, model answer also, and this one question. Now we are going to talk about this cloud seeding. There is one thing called as cloud seeding. It is also called as a method of artificial rain. It is called as a method of artificial rain. So can you tell me what is this process of cloud seeding? Like recently this news article was there that in Delhi, the Delhi cabinet means the Delhi National Capital Territory of Delhi, its cabinet has given nod, means it has given this permission that we are going to have 5 cloud seeding trials across NCR region. Okay. So we are going to have such 5 cloud seeding trials also. So this is one thing which we are going to conduct in the upcoming days. We may be able to do this cloud seeding in Delhi. Now the question is, what is this cloud seeding and what are the things which are involved? Okay. We first see that like this is an artificial rain, and here if we look at the process, first of all there is monitoring of suitable clouds. It cannot be done simply even without clouds. First we need to have a suitable cloud. The first process is identification of suitable cloud. Identification of suitable cloud. Normally, you know that the nimbus clouds which are there, they are famous for rain. So normally we are trying to look for the nimbus clouds or a similar cloud which may be causing some rainfall. Then the second thing is some planes or even drones. Nowadays, you know that drones can also do many things. Okay. So we are using planes or drones. Okay. We may be using planes or drones, and from there, from these planes or drones, certain salt, okay, salt particles or other particles, they are sprayed. There is a spray of these particles on cloud. There is spray of these particles on cloud, and they help in condensation. They help in the process of condensation. They facilitate a platform where condensation of the ice or condensation of the water can take place, and this boosts the rainfall. Okay. So what we see that it is favoring condensation. This helps in getting condensation, and then we see that there is rainfall in the area. There is rainfall in the area. And normally what is seen that it's not that there will be enormous rainfall. What is generally seen that it may be able to bring around 15 to 25% extra rainfall. Per year. It may bring 15 to 25% of extra rainfall per year. So that is a considerable improvement, especially when we have a period like El Nino. When we have El Nino like conditions, when we have lesser chances of rainfall, then this is something which can be utilized. This is something which can be used for the cloud seeding purposes. Okay. Now, what chemicals are used here? Like what type of chemicals may be used in this special cloud seeding? There is the one which is very much famous, it's silver iodide. The one which is very famous is silver iodide. Normally we talk about this, but apart from silver iodide, there can be use of potassium iodide also, sodium chloride also, calcium chloride also, dry ice also, or sometimes urea also. Okay. These things can be used. They can be used for creating rainfall. Okay. They can be used for creating rainfall. But there are certain criticism of it. There are certain criticism of it. Can you tell me why they are being criticized? Why they are being criticized? Yes, dry ice is also used. Dry ice is something which we are using here. So like, tell me this part, what is the criticism? Intensity of nucleation, okay? Environmental concern, what specific environmental concern? Okay. See, it is said that sometimes it may become although it is quite rare, but it may cause situation like cloud burst. Okay. Then what we will see that release of chemicals. Third thing what we see that it is interference with atmospheric circulation. This is also regarded as interference with atmospheric circulation. It is interference with atmospheric circulation. So these challenges may be seen. These challenges are generally said that it may bring this challenge of interference with atmospheric circulation. It can also increase some chemicals in our atmosphere, although many of them are not harmful. But at the same time, it is an addition. It is one pollution which we are adding. And the third part is, in rare cases, it may also cause the issue of cloudburst. Okay. So this is one part. This is one part which we see that it may be one of the challenge, cloud seeding. While it is good for certain people, while it is good for certain area, it can be somewhat challenging also. So that is the first part, the first topic. Okay. Now, last day, we have this one thing going on. Now, you will find this very interesting. Like, think about this, that on one hand, we are having a war-like situation with Pakistan. On one hand, we are having a war-like situation with Pakistan, and in that scenario, we are seeing that the entire media and everything is covering that portion. On the other hand, our Prime Minister has also addressed this special space summit also. This first, or you can say that inaugural space meeting also. Okay. Space exploration. Okay. There was this global conference on space exploration. So Prime Minister has addressed that conference via video conferencing just after having a meeting on strikes in various terrorist camps in POK and some portions of Pakistan also. Okay. So just after having that meeting and all other discussions, Prime Minister was going for video conferencing about this. Then just after that, we also see that there have been announcement that some new IITs and others will also be created. So that is also going on simultaneously. And at the same time, we have concluded India and United Kingdom trade deal. On the other hand, we see that we have gone also with this approval for Starlink project. So while on one hand, a major issue is going on with respect to Pakistan, at the same time, many important things are also going on simultaneously. Many of these things are going on simultaneously. So this shows the maturity. This shows the maturity and dimensions of Indian administration. So this is one part, this is one part. Last day, we have seen that there was this space related exploration conference also, Global Space Exploration Conference. And in that, Prime Minister was speaking about Indian space programs. And it was mainly focusing on this part, that how space is good for people. How space is good for all the people, or empowering the people. That was the main theme. Okay. So if we talk about our space programs, we have started with sounding rockets. We have started with sounding rockets in 1963. And at that time, it was mostly about atmospheric study. Sounding rockets are used for atmospheric study. So we have started from there, and then we have been able to reach moon also. From here, we have been able to reach moon also. From here, we have been able to reach Mars also. We have been able to get Aditya L1. We have been able to conduct space docking. We have been able to launch 100 plus satellites in one go. Okay. So we have been able to do many of the commendable jobs. We have been, in fact, the first country to reach the lunar south pole to reach the lunar south pole. Okay. So this is some of the important things which have been achieved by India or the Indian space program. But at the same time, what we see that Indian space program is about empowering people. And this can also be a question in the mains exam, that how the space program is empowering the people. Okay. So let us focus on that part. How this space is empowering the people. We will try to see the different dimension. First, rural India. How it is empowering the rural India. In rural India, we have one component, that is agriculture. So how the ISRO programs are helping the agriculture? One of the major thing is weather forecasting. Weather forecasting. Weather forecasting. At the same time, now we have also seen that crop estimation. Crop estimation. Last week itself, a few weeks ago, or perhaps last week itself, we have seen that ISRO has been able to conduct the estimation of the crops grown in India using satellites. Okay. So weather forecasting is also there, crop estimation is also there. Plus updates about market, or you can say that market updates. So farmers are having different things like M-Kisan app and other apps, which via satellite provides them the communication about market updates and each and everything in real time. So for agriculture sector, this is one of the benefit. What other? Can you tell me what other options are there? What other options are there? Like how this space program is helping the rural India. How it is helping the rural India. Yes. Another major part is tele-education. Tele-education is one of the major part. Then we see that telehealth is also there. Telehealth is also there. Then we see that communication has improved. Communication improved. We see that disaster management has also improved. In many of the areas, we see that we are having this early warning system. We are having this early warning system. So that is also, we see that this is one of the key advantages of space sector in the rural areas. Okay. This is also one of the main benefit for the rural areas. Now, at the same time, if we talk about this one concept, that what is the benefit for new India, like the new India which we are talking about. So what is the benefit it is going to get from there? One of the key benefit which we can see here is navigation system. Navigation based services. So that is the one key benefit for India. Second thing is, at the same time, this digitalization or digitization. So that is also empowered by our space programs, by our space adventures. So that is also one of the benefit. Okay. On the other hand, we will also see that this space sector has created the opportunities for new startups. New startups or space activities. That it has started this option for new startups or space activities for India also. Okay. For the new India which is aspiring, which is looking for opportunities. So there also we are finding this option. Okay. At the same time, if we talk about this new India, that how the space sector is going to help it, you will find that it is also helping to explore the resources. Okay. Exploration and management of resources. The exploration and management of resources is also there. Okay. Then at the same time, we see that this space sector, is also providing us the opportunity for various information about the world and all other. Okay. So we see that there is another part which is respect to this research and development. Okay. So we see that we are becoming part of international intellectual community. We are becoming part of this international intellectual community with respect to this space sector. Okay. We are also able to understand space weather. We are also able to understand the space weather research. Okay. We are also, there is another angle, we see that the diplomacy via space or space diplomacy. Space diplomacy. We are improving relations with European Space Agency. We are also providing it to South Asian nation. We are having it with Japan. We are having with France, Russia, US, and so on. So it is also building our space diplomacy with respect to other countries of the world also. So one space programs and multiple benefits that we can see with respect to a space sector in India. That although we are having just one such thing, just one such space program, but it is paying off in different areas, from rural areas to urban areas, to the new aspirations of India, to research and development also, to diplomacy also. In all these sections, space sector is helping us. Okay. Now, can you tell me, if we talk about space sector in India, if a private space sector, if a private company is there and it want to launch a space satellite, or it wants to launch any such rocket which is carrying the satellite, so who will give the approval for that? Who will approve any private space mission? That is the question. Who is going to approve the private space missions in India? NSIL. Okay. Yes, that is not NSIL, it is in space. Basically, if we look at this, we have got 4 institutions. Okay. If we talk about the space in India, we have got 4 institutions. One is Department of Space. One is, of course, our Department of Space. It is the apex body. Means it is the one which will formulate the space policy. It will be the one which will monitor the space policy, will implement the space policy. Okay. So formulation, what we see that this one is responsible for formulation, implementation, and even what we see that this one is also going to be responsible for monitoring of space policy. Then of course we have this ISRO. ISRO is basically focusing more on research and development and promoting space sector in India. Promoting a space sector. Then we have one of the wings, that is NSIL, New Space India Limited. This NSIL is the commercial arm. It is working as for commercialization of space services or products. Means if ISRO has made something, so that will be sold by it. So it is just selling them in the market. That is the role of NSIL. That if ISRO or any other public space department of Government of India has made any such service or product, so then that is going to be commercialized by the NSIL. So it is acting as the commercial arm. Then we have this NSpace. Indian Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Indian Space Promotion and Authorization Center. So this NSpace, if you look at this, okay, NSpace, so this one is like promoting, regulating and authorizing private space activities. It is promoting, authorizing and regulating private space activities in India. So that is the role of NSpace. Okay. So here we have seen that there are 4 different organs. One is NSIL, one is the ISRO, one is Department of Space and others. Okay. So now see, we have this one question and I think all of you can answer this. Which of the following correctly pairs the satellite type with most appropriate orbit? Communication satellite, high Earth orbit; remote sensing satellite, sun synchronous orbit; navigation satellite, low Earth orbit. So what will be correct here? Like we have 4 different things, 3 different parts here: communication satellite, remote sensing and navigation satellite. So which of the following correctly pairs the satellite type with their designated orbit? Like what is correct with respect to them? Okay, A answer, D answer, B answer. Maybe A. We have to give the correct answer, whether it is A option, B option, D option or anything else. Option number A. Okay. See, if you look at remote sensing, that is correct. So 2 will definitely be there. Communication satellite, of course they are placed in high Earth orbit, that is the geosynchronous orbit or geostationary orbit. So 1 and 2 both are correct. Third is saying navigation satellite, low Earth orbit. So that is incorrect. If we talk even about GPS, so GPS is there in the middle Earth orbit and all others they are there in high Earth orbit. So either the middle Earth or the high Earth orbit. So this one is also incorrect. Answer is option number A, that is 1 and 2 only. Okay. So here we see that 1 and 2 will be correct. Navigation can be in the middle Earth orbit. It can be middle Earth orbit or it can also be there in high Earth orbit. Now, coming to the main topic, Starlink. Okay. So finally, there has been approval for the Starlink in India. It has got the approval to offer internet services in India. So this is one of the biggest news right now. Okay. If we talk about the Starlink project, if we are talking about the Starlink, it is a program of SpaceX. This SpaceX is basically a US based company. This is basically a US based company, and you all may be knowing Elon Musk as the head of this SpaceX. So this Starlink project, what it is trying to provide, it will provide internet services, internet via satellite. It aims to offer this internet via satellite. So that is the aim of this. It is going to provide this internet via satellite. Right now, what we see that traditionally, how you are getting the internet, you are getting it through the cellular networks. The cellular networks are provided through the mobile towers and all, or you may be having this broadband connection or broadband which is coming to your house, and from there using Wi-Fi routers you are getting the connection. Okay. So this is one of the way of providing the internet. But here the devices will be directly connected. The devices are going to be directly connected with the satellite. Okay. So that is the main aim here, that instead of having those mobile towers, they will be directly connecting. They will be directly connecting with the satellite. So this is one thing. And for this, we see that these satellites are being placed in low Earth orbit. Generally, we see that the communication satellites are put in the higher Earth orbit. They are put in high Earth orbit, so there is lesser requirement and more coverage. Okay. But there is a challenge. If you are putting something in high Earth orbit, then there will be more latency, means the time lag will be higher, the speed will be lower. But in the case of low Earth orbit, the speed will be higher, latency will be lower. So this is going to have certain advantage: lower latency, wider coverage, higher resilience. So these three things can be seen in case of Starlink project. Right now it has got 700 active satellites. And in the present times, of course, it is the world's largest internet provider. It has aim of putting like thousands and thousands of more satellites in the space for this Starlink project. Okay. So they were trying to get this benefit. They were trying to get this get this expansion in India also. Now tell me, who will get the benefit? Who is going to receive this benefit of Starlink project? Who is going to get this benefit of Starlink project? Apart from Elon Musk. And apart from Elon Musk, who will get the benefit? Army. The army will not be relying on this, but yeah, maybe they can use it. But what we see that the rural areas, hilly or difficult terrains, disaster prone zones, okay, means suppose that there are rural areas which are having lesser habitation. Now if they are having lesser number of people, cellular towers are also quite few in number. You may have seen that in rural areas, due to lesser population density, there is lack of mobile towers or cellular towers. So there we see that there is lesser connectivity, there is lesser such connectivity, or internet speed is also quite low, services are not provided in a well manner. The same thing goes with hilly areas also, or all those areas where installing these towers are difficult or costly. So in those areas especially, this is going to give the benefit. Okay. Now what we see that how the Starlink is going to provide this. Okay. So they are going to partner with the Indian firms like Jio, Airtels and others, and they will be using the ground infrastructure for service delivery. Okay. So here the focus will be to serve low density rural regions that are not attractive for traditional internet markets. Okay. So rural areas and other focused areas will be there. The areas where we have lack of internet connectivity and all, they will be the main focus areas. Okay. And what is the requirement? They have to cooperate with law enforcement. They have to submit, like they have to, the customers, they will be asked to submit KYC document, and the company will have to store the data locally. So three requirements have been made. First, store the data of Indian people locally. Second thing is, you will have to check the KYC documents of your subscribers. And the third thing is, you will have to cooperate with law enforcement. So on these terms, what we see that Starlink has also agreed. And then we see that now this Starlink services is going to be provided in India also. Okay. So that is one of the change. Okay. So one final thing, Security Council. Okay. So this is one part, Security Council is there. Will it be affordable for rural people? We will have to see how much prices and other things are announced. We will have to check for that. Okay. So once this becomes reality, once they start giving the services, then only we will get to know whether it will be affordable for the people or not. There was a time when Jio was quite affordable. The Jio internet and everything, it was quite affordable at one point of time. But now you know that the prices are quite high. Okay. So in same manner, prices can be high here also. In the initial terms, like when this project was announced, initially when this project was announced, it was said that this project is going to provide internet connectivity for everyone free of cost. But later on, it was said that no, it will have a premium version also, where people will have to pay some price for getting the premium services and everything. Okay. This is one part. Let's see how much they are coming with. Okay. Why does not India build its own satellite internet service? In India, you will find that satellite internet service can be provided by the private sectors. But there has been no such initiative by the private sector as of now. The private space sector in India, it is at a nascent stage. It has not become that much powerful. In fact, we have opened up the private space sector just a few years ago. Like in 2023, we have got the National Space Policy. And from then after, we have seen that there is more and more growth of space sector, especially by the private startups. So it's just the earliest stage. Maybe after 10 years, we will be in a better position where we may also provide internet services via satellite. Okay. So this is one part. In the entire world, no other country is having such services. It is only one private company, Starlink, which is providing it. In fact, European Space Agency is coming with one project, Iris Square or Iris system, which is also trying to provide the same thing. The European Space Agency has said that it will bring the same thing. Now in India, you see that the internet and other things, they are being provided by private sector. So private sector has not been that much like in favor of having these satellite internets and everything. So that's why we are not having it. And now it can be used in wildlife sanctuaries also. Yes, of course, they can be used. Okay. So, Security Council. Okay. Basically, the news is India has briefed the envoys of 13 Security Council members. You know that when we talk about this UNSC, United Nations Security Council, it has got 15 members. Okay. It has got 15 members. Now, out of those 15, we see that 5 P5 members are there and 10 non-permanent members are there. So, India has given the brief to all these P5 members plus 8 members from here. Basically, Pakistan right now, it is also a non-permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Right now, Pakistan is a member of the non-permanent member of United Nations Security Council. So there is one country, Sierra Leone. Okay. So this is not having any such envoy in India. They are not having any such people in India. So they were not called. But all other non-permanent members who were there, except Pakistan, so they were called and they were given this information that what we have done after the Pahalgam strike and everything. Okay. So this is one part. These are non-permanent members. What we see that there is an election of them. They are elected. Can you tell me which organization will be electing these non-permanent members? Which of them will be electing the non-permanent members of Security Council? Who will elect them? Yes, they are going to be elected by United Nations General Assembly. Okay. And what is the tenure of them? What is the tenure for them? Last week also we have seen the same topic. We have seen the same topic about United Nations Security Council. In fact, I have given you a question on this also. Okay. That what is the tenure of this? Yeah, of course it is 2 years. Okay. So they have a tenure of 2 years. This United Nations Security Council, if they have to take any decision, if they have to take any decision, how much vote they will require? What is the requirement of vote for this United Nations Security Council? If they have to take any decision, how much vote is required for passing any resolution? 1/3. Not 1/3. When will India become permanent member? Two-third members, all P5. See, when we talk about that, there is two parts. First of all, when we talk about the P5, so these 5 will have to agree. Means for any decision, P5, they will have to agree. Plus, these P5, they will have to agree. There is no no challenge in that. They will all have to agree. It cannot be changed that any one of them is not agreeing and then others can agree. Okay. Then what we see that 11, no, not 11. We see that there should be an affirmative vote by 9 members, not 11. It has to be done by 9 members. So P5 plus 4. Okay. So it has to be done by 9 members. Okay. It has to be done by 9 members. So if 9 of them agree, and in that 9, P5 must be there. P5 plus 4, they will have to agree for taking any decision. It is not 2/3, it is 9/15. So once they have taken a decision by 9/15, then only a resolution is going to be passed. So it is 9/15. So slightly less than 2/3. 2/3 would have been 10/15, but slightly less than 2/3. So it is 9/15 according to United Nations General Assembly Charter. Okay. According to their charter, it is 9 out of 15. Okay. So this is United Nations Security Council. Okay. Now This is one last question for you. Discuss the significance of space sector for rural India. Okay. So write some specific example. Search a little bit more about it. Write some specific example that what is the significance of this. Okay. And then try to give me the answer. Okay. So next day I will like to see more answers from your side. Okay. So that will be all for today. That will be all for today. Tomorrow we will meet. We have discussed this Starlink project also. You were also saying that we have to discuss that. Okay. Sajam Praveen. See, one batch has already started, I think. And you can visit the Khan Global Studies website. There you will find the date of the new batch also. Okay. So just go to the website of Khan Global Studies. There you will find the details of the new batch. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow then. Thank you. Take care.